Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me I have my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Ahoy!
And today we're going to be reviewing another album. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If not, we're doing another album review. It's quite different than even the Claude Von Stroke album we did. So I would say it's the most different thing we've done so far. I would say. And we're going to be reviewing an album. How do you pronounce the album name, Mark?
Geogaddi.
Geogaddi, right here. So they have 4 studio albums. So the band is called Boards of Canada. So let's talk about this. Boards of Canada are a Scottish electronic music duo consisting of 2 brothers. Formed in '86. Wow. Okay.
Been
Okay.
around for a while.
Yes, definitely. And this album in particular came out in 2002, right? So
hmm
they formed in '86, but their first album came out in 1998, which is very interesting, actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're part of like Aphex Twins like scene, like where during like the '90s, it kind of just like they made like demos and EPs and shit, and like they didn't really make full lengths like frequently until a certain point in time. So
Hmm.
they're part of like what's called Warp Records, which is a bunch of like electronic musicians in the '90s.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, like back then, like I don't know if it was a money issue or if it was just like, they had too much stuff, but they didn't make full lengths as frequently.
Mm.
Um, so like their first full length was in 1998. It was called "Music Has the Right to Children,"
Okay.
and it's an incredible album. Like you could pick any one of their 4 albums, and I love all of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's where they started. They have like EPs and demos and stuff before this, but yeah, 84 I think is kind of not deceptive, but I mean they were probably in 80 like in the 80s they probably weren't doing anything massive,
Hmm.
so yeah, but they've
Okay.
been around for a while.
All right, cool. So, Mark, I had never heard of this group in my life until you told me about it.
Yeah.
I do know quite a bit of electronic music, but this one is definitely I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, Mark, why did you recommend for us to review this album so the audience knows any particular?
Well, it was just kind of for that reason because
Okay,
we listened to that Claude Von Stroke album. I know
I
that's more
see.
like house music,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um but still electronic music. And
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to see how you would like this kind of stuff because I mean, if you go on my Spotify, like they're probably one of my most listened
Oh wow.
musicians ever.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I don't know what it is about them. Like when we get into the album, I can talk about it a little bit, but um, it's just great background music for me. Like when I'm doing stuff, when I'm doing work or school stuff or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, and it. I've been listening to them for a while too, so it's kind of like there's like always like nostalgia and stuff too. I'll get into how I really even found them in the first place when we get into the album and stuff.
Okay. Cool. So, I like this description, and then we'll talk about the album next. The music of Boards of Canada has been described as evocative, mournful, sample laden, down tempo music, often sounding as though produced on malfunctioning equipment excavated from the ruins of an early '70s computer
That's
lab.
an
Whoa.
incredible description.
Yeah.
That is like
Who said that?
perfect.
Okay.
That should be like next to their name whenever you like. Oh, if you like this, like you should read this. That's
Shout out to John Bush from All Music. That's who said that. All
spot on,
right.
man. Spot
Yeah.
on.
Okay. In the 1 in a million chance John Bush is listening to this. Good job, sir. Anyway, okay. All right, cool. So let's get into it. So we're gonna do this slightly different than our normal album reviews, where we do every track and we talk about sometimes the lyrics, and we took. There's really no lyrics to this stuff. There's some spoken word stuff going on,
Mhm.
but it's. I don't think you're meant to pay attention to lyrics too much, honestly. That's what
Nah.
I got out of it. That's one thing. I think a lot of the lyrics are samples, probably too. I'm guessing.
Yeah, not your normal samples though.
Right. And so my take on this album, I'm just going to give a quick summary of it, Mark.
Okay.
And then we'll go into certain tracks that we wanted to play. Um, your description of background music is exactly what I did when I listened to it the second time. So when I listened to it the first time, I was doing my normal like active listening thing, like what I do when we listen to an album, right, and review it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think it's actually a little more enjoyable as background music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
So I was kind of doing some work earlier today, and I just played it, in my basement. I was listening to it doing some work, and then I was enjoying it more than I did when I was actively listening to it. To be honest with you,
Right.
so let's talk about the first song we have picked out, which is "Music and Music is Math." In fact, this might actually be my favorite song.
Okay. All right. It's a good one, man.
Yeah, this was if it's not my favorite, it's like a top two or three, but it
So let
probably
me
is
let
my
me
favorite.
let
Yeah,
me preface our listen for those who
yeah.
aren't familiar with this kind of music. Um, down tempo. It's like down tempo music with like they almost use like hip hop beats, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
um it has like hip hop style beats, but it's this is not hip hop by any means, like not even close.
Yeah.
So the genre this falls into, a lot of people say, is hauntology, which is like basically you're listening to music that you've never heard before, but it sounds familiar and it's nostalgic and reminiscent of something, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Mm.
So their influences when they were making music originally, you can hear it on their first album, were like television programs from like the 60s and 70s that they grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
So they sampled like Sesame Street and like other old like children's programs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very prevalent and stuff. And you hear that and you're like, this isn't quite Sesame Street, but I like it sounds familiar. Maybe it's that like that reminiscing feel that you get from this album that really clicks with me, um but yeah, that's it falls into like hauntology it's called, which I never really looked into much until recently, so
Okay.
you'll understand when you hear the music.
I'll play a clip from it. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so that's a clip from Music is Math. That gives you the vibe. This was definitely one of my favorite songs. It kind of builds from there a little bit, but it is, yeah, it was a highlight to me. I don't have as many detailed notes as I normally have.
Yeah,
Just, yeah,
this isn't like a sit down and like listen intently type, music. Like you said,
right, yeah,
it's somewhat background music.
right.
So before you move on to the next track, let me
Hmm.
just say something.
Sure.
So the way I found this band originally was, um, there was a webtoon from like the early 2000s called Salad Fingers. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
So it's incredibly creepy and disturbing, but there's a song that plays in the background of every video, and it's called "Beware the Friendly Stranger" by Boards of Canada. So I was like, this song is so creepy and weird. Like I have to listen to what the rest of the album sounds like.
Hmm.
And then I listened to the rest of the album, and while it's still creepy and weird, it doesn't sound anything like that. If you could just play that real quick, just so
Yeah,
they can hear
sure,
it,
sure.
it's very unnerving. And I mean, it sounds like distorted carnival music with like static. It's just, and this plays the whole time in the background. Ugh, gives me chills still. There it is. I knew there was going to be a reference on there. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to just play that just to give some background. So that's the whole reason I even found this band originally.
Gotcha.
Um, okay. So
Let's play a clip from the next one that you picked, Gyroscope. Let's see. So what I got out of just listening to this was the lyrics are a kid just counting to 10.
Yeah.
That's all it really
So
is. Yeah.
so that goes back to them using like kids like samples from old kid shows from like the 60s and 70s.
Hmm.
It's probably some kid counting on like Sesame Street, and it's just distorted and
Right.
um yeah, I mean, you're not like really gonna get traditional vocals in any of these songs.
Right. It has like a creepy vibe to it, but in a weird, relaxing way. It's like creepy, relaxing music.
So this is their most. I mean, this is people say that this or their first album is their best.
Hmm.
Um, this is probably their most divided album by fans because
Mm.
their other three albums aren't as like unsettling and as creepy as this one. I guess you could say not
I
like
see.
creepy, but like um. But I think personally, this is their best album, and this is the one that everybody at least should hear once.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you're not like familiar with this kind of music, I could see like being a little
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah. And
that's
this
why.
song, yeah, and to your credit, Mark, calling this out, I mean, as a recommendation, if you look at this song, which it's a kid counting to 10 with some kind of really ambient music, it has 300,000 views. It's not like it's nobody's heard it. You know what I mean? This one particular song.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I wonder if how much the music one has. Let's see.
probably a lot. It's one of their more
It's
popular
actually
ones.
less.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's almost 300,000. How about Beware the Friendly Stranger? Let's see.
That
Oh,
probably has a lot because of Salad Fingers.
it's less. So far, the number one is Gyroscope out of the group. That's very interesting.
I also found out recently, as in like the past couple of years, that that song Gyroscope is in the horror movie. What is it? Oh God, I'm having like another brain fart. Hold on, hold on. For the movie Sinister. You ever seen it?
No. I know what you're
Okay.
talking about, though.
Yeah. So it's pretty fitting in that movie, honestly,
I
because that
see.
movie's pretty creepy. So
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, like, when you listen to it, you're like, first listening to it, I'm like, I don't know if I like it. And then the more you listen to it, you're like,
it grows on you, right?
yeah, it's definitely grows. That's why it's nice. It's kind of nice as background music because
Yeah.
it's just very, very repetitive. So it's,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, cool. The next one you picked is Sunshine Recorder. I could play a little clip from it.
This one's not as creepy as the other ones,
Right,
but
right.
how many plays does this have?
100K. Let me skip a little bit.
Beautiful place.
Yep. See more children samples.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
So I would say for me, this was like a highlight track. This one and the music song, Music is Math. So far, those are my top two on the record.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the more like I'm not gonna say upbeat, but it's more like easy listening, if that's
Yeah.
a way to put
Yeah.
it.
Right, right, right.
Oh, I also wanted to point out that the reason we're skipping some of these tracks is they're like little like interludes, and like
Yeah.
one of the tracks sounds like a PSA, like for like energy crisis. Like it's supposed to the album is supposed to like encapsulate like you're watching old TV in like a fucked up weird dream or something. You know? That's what I take from it.
Yeah, I agree. It's supposed to be like you're in and out of dream state consciousness,
Yeah,
watching TV.
or nightmare, depending on how you look at it.
Right,
But,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right, cool. The next one that was selected was Julie and Candy. I can play a clip from that one.
Very good track. One of my favorites on the album.
Yes, this is also one of my favorites. Yeah, this is a nice one. This might be my favorite, actually.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of the
Yeah.
best ones.
Yeah, I take it back. This is my favorite, actually.
Well, don't start too soon because there's 2 more tracks that are pretty amazing. in
What's
my
funny
opinion.
is because I was first time I sat down and listened to it, second time I listened to it as background music, and then I'm not sure what the tracks are called, because of that. So
right, yeah.
now that I'm hearing them again, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember really liking
Troy,
this
that's
one.
why
So
I'm here to
there
guide
you go. Thank you. All right, the next one I'm very curious on, actually.
Oh yeah, this is
1969.
this is in
yeah.
contention with one others as my favorite on the album.
Okay, I'm gonna play a clip of it here. So let's skip a little bit. All right, so my take on this was, I thought it was a cool song. I didn't, it didn't catch me as like the last one did, the Julie and Candy one and the other one. But I did think it was a cool song. It was nice. I think a lot of these songs, Mark, it requires multiple listens. Honestly,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, definitely.
when you first hear it, your brain isn't really used to listening to stuff. At least my brain isn't. It's not it's very different, so it kind of catches you a little bit off guard, and you're like, what are those sounds? You know what I mean? It's a little bit like distracting on some level. But then once you start having it just in the background and you get the vibe going, then it's much more enjoyable, for me. So yeah, obviously this is a song you really like, so why don't you?
Yeah, so the like the actual spoken word in the background is it's related to. Are you familiar with Branch Davidians and David Koresh?
Yes.
Yeah, from like Waco, like the Waco siege.
Mm-hmm.
So this album is apparently based, like, kind of unofficially based off of like that whole thing, that whole like that whole event.
Okay.
So the lyrics on this one is, although not a follower of David Koresh, even though it's backwards, who was the leader of the Branch Davidians, she's a devoted Branch Davidian, and it just repeats over and over again.
Right.
I don't know. This track is like extremely hypnotic to me. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to put into words really when it's like something like this. I think with you, when you listen to this, like, you're so used to just sitting down and like really focusing in.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with this kind of music, it's like really hard to, because you have to like, it's almost like trying to pay less attention, like
right.
I don't know what I'm even saying, but I mean,
No,
like,
I
everybody
understand.
has their own opinions.
I
Yeah,
understand
like,
totally.
it's
I
just-
understand what you mean. Yeah.
And
No,
like,
I
this
like
is an
yeah.
album that's absolutely supposed to be listened to without skipping any songs, because
Oh, I see.
all the interludes kind of connect each song. So
Gotcha. So I like this comment. Guys, I think she's a devoted Branch Davidian, but I'm not sure. All right. So, all right, cool. Let's move on to the next one, which is The Beach at Redpoint. Okay, let me listen to this one because I think I know which song. Yeah, I was listening to this in I actually listened to this one 3 times because I
Okay.
listened to some of this in the car earlier.
Okay.
Picked up my daughter from daycare.
Did she like it, or was she
She
scared?
literally asked me, "What song is this?" And I said, "She's 3.5, by the way, folks." So, and I just said, "Oh, it's a song called The Beach." And she said, "Oh, Bluey went to the beach." And I said, "Yes, he did." So
Yes, he did.
anyway, that was how she related to this song.
Yes, he
So
did.
she must have watched an episode recently about that. So okay, let's check this one out. Okay. So yeah, this one has a really interesting, I don't know how to put it. It's definitely like an emotional vibe to it, but I don't know
Hmm.
what the emotion is,
Right.
which is very interesting. I don't know if I should be sad, happy.
It's a pretty somber album, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like an album that's like uplifting. It's like nostalgic in a very somber way, like, you know.
Yeah, I would say that's right. It didn't make me like depressed. It's not like depressing. It's just like I don't know. It does invoke an emotion, but it's hard to pinpoint what. It's just kind
Yeah.
of it has a nice vibe to it, I would say, you know.
That's a good way to put this album. Is it definitely invokes emotions, but it's really hard to pinpoint what they are
Right.
specifically.
Yeah.
Like I would say somber and melancholic, but not sad. Like you're not sad listening to this.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You're
You're
not
just
gonna
kind
go
of just like
crying over, you
you're
know.
just like like
Right.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
You're like very very stoic, you know, very
Right.
just
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right. The next one is Alpha and Omega. So some first comment, literally the album's best track. I'll play a clip from it. You tell me what you think about this one, Mark, before I play it. Do you feel like it's the best track?
no, but it's top tier.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's play a clip from it. So let's go. This one is one I really liked because I really like the percussion.
Yes.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit, but let me.
Yeah, it's got like timpanis in it, like it sounds
Yes.
like yeah.
Yep. It sounds like they actually reversed the percussion and sub points.
That
It's
wouldn't
like
surprise me.
there's like a non-reversed beat, and then they're like throwing in a reverse percussion. I think it's pretty cool. Let me go back.
Right,
That brrrp, I think that's reversed actually.
yeah, probably.
Okay, so yeah, this one is one I dug this one a lot, but it sounds like this is you as well, Mark. It sounds like this was
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Somebody says that I didn't get this from it, but this is the song closest to the feeling of pure terror and
No.
helplessness.
Wait
That
till we
the
get to the next song and then we'll talk.
I don't get that at all from this song, but that's
No,
okay.
I think
Somebody got it.
this is one of the
Yeah,
more upbeat songs I think on
right.
the album.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I actually feel more. I feel like more joy and like upbeat, like elation with the song than anything.
I don't know I don't understand the comment, but that's okay. All right. The next one is "The Devil Is in the Details."
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you say about this one.
All right. All right, you want my thoughts about it?
Yeah, I want to see the comments on here too.
Okay. Positively, I really like the main synth line.
Right.
I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The creepy vocals and all that. I mean, you know, it's cool. You know what? I feel like I really do feel like you either have to be, if this is in the background, I keep saying that, and you're not totally paying attention to it, I think it's much more enjoyable, number one, for me, like a song like this in particular. And number two, I don't do drugs, but I would imagine if I did, it would be more enjoyable, something like this too. Maybe not. Maybe it would freak me out. I don't know. The point is, though, yeah, I don't have anything. I mean, you know, I don't have like maybe I don't have the reaction you're looking for, Mark, but because it doesn't like scare me or anything.
It's unsettling, and it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, I've skipped this track before. Like,
yeah, it's not,
just because if I'm not like in the mood for it, I'll just skip over it, you know.
Yeah, to me, it's like if it's playing along with the rest of the album, I probably won't skip it. It's not like it offends me. It's not like it scares me. I'll just listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's not a song I would go back to like some of the other ones like we talked about.
Yeah.
So far, yeah. All right, cool. Okay. The last one. This was one that stood out to me actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dawn Chorus. And for the Destiny folks out there, yeah, there's a Destiny helmet, exotic helmet. Okay, let me go like halfway. What's funny about it is a little bit unsettling when you first listen to it because you don't know what the vocal samples are.
Mm-hmm.
So your brain goes, is that someone? Is that from a porno? Is it someone just happy? Is it someone in trouble? Is it like, you know what I mean? Like there is an unsettling thing because of the way that the samples are done that I think your brain has a hard time on first listen, can have a hard time kind of just sitting down, and it could be distracting is what I'm saying on first listen. But musically, I really like this one. And then it was one that I just, when I was listening to the background, I'm like, okay, you know, I was vibing to it. So how about you?
This and 1969 are probably my two favorites on the album.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, you know, it all depends on mood, honestly. All the tracks that we listen to I love, and you know, favorites and whatever, like they'll change based on mood or day or whatever. But I would say generally, this and 1969 are probably the ones that stay consistently my favorites.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Music is Math is incredible. I love Alpha and Omega. I love Julian Candy. Yeah, I mean, some of the other ones are just more monotonous and more like background theme music, but
right.
Yeah, I love this album. I've listened to it so many times. I just can't. I can't like really put into words why either. It's just I just love it, and I don't know. I guess I don't need an explanation to love it. So
And it was
just
ranked by Pitchfork as one of the best intelligent dance music albums of all time.
that doesn't surprise me. It's
So
Pitchfork.
if you like anything you hear, if you'd like some kind of more atmospheric, a little bit creepy, but not too creepy background music, right? Not like horror music, but a little bit creepy. This might be up your alley, right? And if you want to just listen to it while you're going for a walk, I think it's probably a good one. When I was listening to this, I was like, I wouldn't mind go for a walk and listen to this album. As well as when you're doing other things too, like working on something or whatever. So yeah, definitely. If this style of interest music is new to you, check it out. And if it's something maybe you wouldn't mind listening to because you're used to electronic music or intelligent dance music, then yeah, definitely give it a listen. Obviously, Mark, this is one of your favorites, so I'm happy to listen to anything you recommend. Open my mind up to. I didn't even know this. I basically knew this kind of music existed. I just haven't really listened to it before, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a cool listen. That's what I'm saying. So
Cool.
thank you for
Cool.
recommending it. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps up another episode, Mark. If you like this episode, give us a like. If you want to see more content of any type, definitely consider subscribing and leave a comment about this album, about something else you'd like us to react to, review, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, thanks again, and until next time, Mark. Talk to you
Peace.
later.